We're just over 2 weeks away from WWE SummerSlam taking place in Detroit, Michigan, where the tribal queef himself, Roman Reigns, will take on his own flesh and blood, Lil J, Roman's words, not mine, and Tribal Wombat. Fight? Well, yeah, that's going to be interesting. And other things occurred on this show, so let's talk about it all. I'm John Rickman with my review, WWE Smackdown from Orlando, Florida. And because they were in Orlando, they had so many NXT talents in the crowd, backstage, possibly standing up on the goddamn roof saying, please watch NXT. We're doing too much comedy and too much bullshit, and we're running off long-time wrestling fans, but please watch it. I don't think they would have been staying up there with signs. It would have been really difficult unless you had a plane or were able to see it from space. So yeah, other things occurred on this particular show, but I do want to offer one quick note. Obviously, sometimes, work schedules get changed around, and the night before SummerSlam, I will actually be closing that day, so I will try to review it before I turn right back around and go to work at 7 a.m. on Saturday, and then review SummerSlam really in a very tired state. So, Bloodline recaps, 4-way entrances. LA Knight gets a big pop, yeah, and says that he will win this match and go on to take Austin Theory's U.S. Championship, telegraphing immediately that he was not going to win this goddamn thing. I'm not going to complain about that because I hope and pray that they actually know what the hell they're doing. They definitely don't know what they're doing with Theory because they still think this guy is good. And he's adequate in the ring, maybe even perhaps decent. He is aggressively boring. He is more useless than white bread. White bread at least has some, you can toast white bread. You can't cook Theory anymore. He is fully cooked, and basically he is just as lukewarm as badly cooked chicken. So anyway, LA Knight, Sheamus, Cameron Grimes going to the moon, and Ray in a 4-way match. And the winner of this takes on Santos next week, and the winner of that faces Theory at SummerSlam. These complicated multi-man matches into smaller matches and everything, it's getting ridiculous. So, nevertheless, Wesley and Dragon Lee, no relation. Wesley, who recently lost the North American Championship to a joke, is now, and more on that in a little bit, is in the crowd with his non-brother, but possibly brother from another mother, or an alternative universe mother, Dragon Lee. Theory was just watching on, not on commentary. That's good. We only had to listen to Michael Cole be bland and boring, but he's still not as bad as Booker T. This was a match. We go 30 seconds minimum. Maybe 45 seconds maximum to the break. And then 5 minutes back, we go to a second break. We get a Tower of Doom, as Morbo says. And then there was an earlier spot where Ray got, Grimes a little too close to Theory, and then Theory attacked Ray, and then Santos chased Theory off through the crowd. And then a cave-in and some moves, and Ray hits the Hurricanrana variation into a pin, 1, 2, 3. So Ray wins, and he's going to take on Santos next week. All right. Who does Santos thinks he is? Good old Theory, understand how English works. He said that to Pierce. When Adam Pierce, who seems bright and was a very good worker, maybe he still is. He hasn't done any wrestling in a while. He's been an authority figure. He at least can exude something where you want to actually listen to what he says. And anytime Theory is out there, I don't want to see him. I can't fucking stand watching Theory. Who are the Chandelier Twins? Is that their name? I don't know if that's their name. I don't know who they are. Explain. Somebody explain to me, please. I do not know who they are. So anyway, recaps of Bork destroying Cody. They could keep showing Cody getting destroyed over and over and over, as long as he isn't able to finish his story, because he ain't even as good as Dustin. I'm just going to say that right now. So, Mello and Trick are in the crowd. Charlotte shows up. Then Tiffany's in the crowd. Boy, imagine if they actually tried to put Tiffany with Charlotte when they called Tiffany up. It's worked out so well for everybody else. It's been paired with Charlotte. Oh, no, it hasn't. It's not the worst idea to try and elevate Tiffany, but she's the champion. She should not be called up until at least after next year's WrestleMania. as opposed to, the year after. I mean, she will probably be called up soon, but she wants to stay in NXT and get some more seasoning. Time and oregano, not sure. Io with Bayley against Charlotte. Bayley joins commentary and rips apart Michael Cole. Thankfully, Bayley seems all right because there was video of a scary possible injury at a house show, and she seems to be walking all right. They were taking it easy, but she's walking all right. She's not limping. That's good. I was really worried she hurt her knee or her quad with the way she crumpled. I smell shenanigans is what I said. I got those, but not quite what I thought. And at one point, Cole says to Bayley, "You tried to screw Io." Never mind. Moving on from that. Not like I'd want to be the rope underneath Io's legs. And anyway, let's move on from that. This did not fully click because Io was having to carry this. Charlotte can work. She was in one of my favorite matches of the year against Rhea Ripley. But honest to God, Charlotte just seems like she's going through the fucking motions. Io has been busting her ass. What ass it is. Moving on. She's been busting her goddamn ass. That match with Bianca was tremendous. One of the best matches that WWE has put on all year. Later, Shotzi appears on the screen, scissoring, meaning she's using scissors, not the Arn Anderson Sid Vicious method. And once again, Shotzi showing solidarity by, cutting her hair off because her sister's going through cancer treatment. I hope her sister beats that. It's great, stuff by Shotzi. I only wish maybe they had Bayley and Shotzi in a hair versus hair match or something. Maybe Bayley versus Io in a hair versus hair match. Or a hair versus case match. See, you could have done that. It would have accomplished the same thing and it would have been interesting to see. But, that being said, Shotzi's able to do this. And again, I hope that her sister beats this horrible, horrible disease. Bayley leaves, and then this match kept going. Like, that just put everything to a halt. Not that the match really ever got out of first gear, but Charlotte needs to stop the moonsault. Commit to it, because one day her ankles, her, tibia is going to go right into her goddamn, knee. Her femur's going to snap. Everything's going to be bad. I don't want to see that. But it kept going. There was just awkwardness. It's like this match should have ended 3 minutes before, or they should have placed the video thing later. Or something. It's just something didn't click. Natural selection. 1, 2, 3. Nevertheless, Asuka then attacks Charlotte. The referee's like, no. How could you not hear Asuka coming with her hot pink pants on display? Then recaps of the desecration of the North American Championship. Okay, here we go. Look, I don't review NXT weekly anymore. I can't. I simply can't. I don't care if it costs me weekly views. I'll review a movie, review a classic wrestling event, or I'll just take the hit, honestly, because NXT has gotten to the point where even the positives don't outweigh the horrible negatives, like Booker T's abysmal commentary. Go do reality of wrestling. Get off the goddamn commentary. Just get off the commentary feed, please. Please. Somebody tell Booker, you need to go do something else. Dominic winning the North American Championship is the equivalent of David Flair winning the U.S. title, except more people were watching WCW than are watching WWE programming now. And that's saying something, because WWE, as far as ratings changing and everything and how television viewing has changed, they're doing the best ratings possible. But NXT doesn't mean anything. NXT should be on the cock. It should not be on cable. It's not a cable-worthy broadcast. And just, Wesley, and I know what they did. I did see the match eventually. I didn't review it because it was too late. I did the Barbenheimer double feature, watched Barbie and Oppenheimer, and check out my reviews of those. And I was having a blast there, and even though I watched that match, and yes, they use every bit of shenanigans, which would work if Dominic was even halfway competent in the ring. Wesley was having to slow down like he was, stuck in quicksand. If you can't halfway work, don't be in the goddamn ring. Yeah, he gets heat. Jim Jones got people to follow him. If only everybody would end up in the same place. Maybe that's a bit mean, but I don't want to see Dominic anymore. They made me not want to see Rhea. And I love Rhea. They made me not want to goddamn see Rhea. People enjoy this pairing. That's great. Oh, Dominic won't hold the title for all that long. Some people have said, oh, Ali might beat him. Yeah, 4 years too late. 4 years too late on Ali. They need to just stop having so many championships. I don't care if they have 3 brands. They need to cut down on a few things. consolidate some stuff, have people go between brands for tag team titles and secondary titles. Dominic is the second worst North American champion of all time. He's the second worst because Velveteen Dream is the worst. That being said, they've completely destroyed any of the hard work that Mello or Trick, well, Mello and Trick, because Trick helped Mello, and what Wesley did for the North American Championships. That's all I got to say about that. Peter Dunne interrupts. He wants a shot, and then Shawn Michaels shows up because he was keeping an eye on Pete Dunne backstage and also on Dominic at the same time. Brett was right about Shawn, that's all I'm going to say. And he'll talk to Pierce. Reigns is pissed backstage. Theory comes out again. Then Theory and Santos had a match where Santos pinned Theory. That is all the time I'm going to give to Theory. The top rope Rana before the finish was nice. Oh, Santos ain't winning. He may beat Ray next week. I don't know. They might find and turn into a three-way, a three-Ray, as it were. And Lashley's with Mello and Trick, but we can't even let that breathe because we have to get to Dominic's goddamn, entrance. And then they show recaps of whatever member of Pretty Deadly it is that got injured. I did not realize he got injured. Separated shoulder. Look, I don't like Pretty Deadly as a gimmick or anything, and I don't want to see them in the ring. I don't want to hear him. But I also don't want him injured. So I hope that he heals up. For those fans that like them, I hope he heals up. And also, he's a human being. He may be a bad gimmick. He may not be my cup of tea, but I don't want to see him hurt. But what hurt was the next one. Dominic versus Pete Dunne, North American Championship. Pete having to just slow down and basically act like an idiot to sell for this freaking goddamn abortion of a second-generation wrestler or third-generation or whatever. I don't care. There was a chain, involved, and Ridge stopped that, and then Pretty Deadly shows up with the blonde in the wheelchair. And then Dominic wins via stupidity. And then next week, Ray and Santos, Cross and Carl Anderson. Cross and Carl Anderson on a cable broadcast. Well, even a wrestling broadcast on network television, because FS1 was this week. Fox's network television next week. Just get re-sign the Good Brothers, Home of the Good Brothers, maybe take your order, and Cross and Scarlett may have been two of the worst signings. Besides Hit Row. That Triple H has done. Yeah, he gave him paychecks, and that's great because WWE has more money than 5 federal governments put together, but still. It's time for the Rules of Engagement. No, not the Tommy Lee Jones, Samuel Jackson 2000 movie, or the sitcom that I totally forgot about that came out well after that movie. Roman and Solo and Heyman are out after Jay had made his entrance, and we've got like 10 minutes left. Acknowledge me. There were a few good lines here. All I'm going to say is he kept calling him Lil J, Roman did. Jay's like, I got to get you, Roman, I got to get you, I'm going to get you, sucker. Boy, that's a goddamn old reference. And they hyped up the whole match, what's going to happen. We don't need a contract. Jay rips up the contract. This is between family. It's going to be tribal combat. So anything goes. If I want to grab that chair and hit you, I can. If I want to grab that kendo stick, I could. If I want to grab that lace slipper and hit you, I could. If I want to put you through this table, I want to. And then a stare down. Roman stops Solo from spiking. Jay, that is. And then Jay kicks Solo and then faces off. And we get all that. And Roman powders out. So that's it for SmackDown right there. I'm going to say that after SummerSlam, I am strongly considering, depending on how views go and my personal interest, I'm debating on whether I'm going to actually continue to review SmackDown weekly. There's stuff I like, and there are things I don't like. And also, I'm getting really burned out after reviewing wrestling constantly, from basically like the fall of 2016 to now with really no breaks. So there we go. Anyway, next week, back on Fox. By the way, also, one quick plug. I will have a review of that new horror movie, Talk to Me, up sometime late Thursday night, early Friday morning. So agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rutland. I'll see you soon.